Today's video is all about my first 5 Louis Vuitton bags. Do I still have them? Would I make the same choices? Do I regret anything? What is my advice to you? Do you go with classic bags? Do you go with your dream bags? You'll find out in this video. This video is also a collaboration with Winnie LV and Yota Style. One of them, I don't remember which, came up with this idea. Fantastic idea, I think. And I will have their videos linked below, so be sure you check those out as soon as you're done with mine. I'm also, as I show you my first 5 bags, I'm going to show you how I have them decorated at the moment and a couple tips for using them that make them a little more efficient for me, so stay tuned. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. One of the perks of subscribing to my channel is you get to see my community posts on your YouTube homepage, where I post deals, discount goods, sales, and rare finds related to these beautiful things we love. Let's get started. One of the dilemmas in starting a luxury collection, or in this case specifically a Louis Vuitton collection, is do I start with classic bags that I know are always going to be in style, or if I have something in mind that's maybe not a classic bag or not quite as common, but it's something I'm really drawn to, do I go for that? Which is the smarter choice? When I started my collection, my first bag was a dream bag for me, not a classic. It's the Louis Vuitton Trevi. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel for a few years know the saga behind my Louis Vuitton Trevi. My original bag was the GM size. This is the PM. I had problems with the GM. The pleats were all wonky and there was just nothing I could do about it, and that wasn't the only issue. It was also very heavy. It felt more like luggage than a handbag. I have videos on that. If you're interested, I can link those below. I kept that bag for a few years because I wanted to love it so bad. Personally, I think the Trevi is one of the most beautiful bags that Louis Vuitton has ever made. While I'm talking, why aren't I giving you a spin of it? Hello. You need to be able to see the whole thing, don't you? It is a gorgeous bag. It has a shoulder strap and these 2 handles. I'm gonna put it down because it is a tad heavy. I tried to make that GM work for me. It didn't work for the reasons I mentioned, so I sold it. And a year or 2 later, I purchased the PM size. This has been perfect. Now let me tell you the story behind this and how you can learn from mistakes that I made. When I was starting off with Louis Vuitton, I had dreamed for years of having a Louis Vuitton bag. Never thought I'd have one because they're so expensive, and I'm certainly not wealthy. But one day I found videos about Louis Vuitton and other luxury bags on YouTube, and that changed my life in a lot of ways. Not only did I eventually become a YouTuber, but that's what got me into actually buying these bags and not just dreaming about them. That is when I learned about how well they tend to hold their value. Now, that's a whole separate video. Some don't hold their value, some do, some go up. It depends on a lot of things. But that realization is what allowed me to justify spending my hard-earned money on one handbag. The Trevi retailed for about $3,500, and this is also where I got into pre-loved bags, by the way, because the one that I purchased was definitely not new. There was no way I could pay that much for a bag. I've only ever done that once. That was my Chanel reissue, and that was a difficult pill to swallow. For my first Trevi, I think I paid about $1,400, a fortune to me at the time. Still a lot of money, but I bought it pre-loved, and the lesson I want you to take from this is that I was more interested in getting a good deal on that bag than I was in paying a little more and getting the best condition bag I could get. So my big tip for you when you're starting your collection is, if you're saving up money like most of us have to do for these bags, try to restrain yourself from going for the cheapest bag that's not in great condition. Try to be patient, save a little more money, and get one that's in fantastic condition. Please trust me, it'll be worth it in the long run. I made that mistake several times when I was starting out with Louis Vuitton before I finally realized not to make that mistake anymore. Now I'm pretty careful about condition, and I'm definitely willing to pay a little more for a bag in better condition. Now, going back to the question of should your first bag be a classic or something you've been dreaming about. Obviously, I did go on to get more bags. I have a mix of classics and more unique bags. And I've been in this luxury community for a few years now. My advice would be, if you think you're only only ever going to get one luxury bag, get your dream bag. Even if it means saving up for months longer, years longer, get your dream bag and get it in excellent condition. If you get a bag that you don't want, you're still going to dream about your dream bag, so why not just get that? By the way, this chain did not come with the bag. This is from Dress Up Your Purse. You'll see that I have chains and charms on a lot of these bags, and part of that, well, part of it's just to make it look prettier, because they're already gorgeous, but part of it is also because a lot of these bags look identical on both sides, so that helps me know which side is the front, because inside the bag I have charcoal packs in there to keep it fresh, but there are pockets on one side and not on the other, so if I want to reach in blind, I know that the side with the chain is the side that's going to have the pockets on the inside. Make sense? My second Louis Vuitton bag is the Neverfull MM Ben. I had seen this bag, the Trevi I had never seen in person. I just ordered that online. That's not a bag you see often. The Neverfull, depending on where you live, you're likely to see a lot. And I had seen this one a lot, and of course I'd seen the monogram one, and this one with the red interior that contrasted and really popped against the brown. This was just so stunning to me, that combination. So I really wanted one. I'm a tote gal for sure. This is a classic bag. It's an everyday bag. A tote is always a fabulous use of my money because it gets a lot of use. And not long after I bought this, I also bought this. This bag charm, African Gray, like my bird Vincent. That's from a seller on Etsy that makes fantastic leather bag charms. I will link them below. I have a video comparing these two bags because this one is the new model and this is the old model. There are several differences. It's a very old video, but I'll link it below. And I'm including both of those as my number 2 purchase. I'm going to cheat a little because I want to show you more bags. But I loved the Ben bag so much. I knew I'd love the Azure too, so I needed both. But I wanted to show you something. If you saw my packing video, you would have seen this tip in there too. The Neverfull, similar to the Longchamp Le Pliage tote, is a big open space. I do tend to use those organizers in them, but I take the center compartment out and I really just use it more as a liner than an organizer, just to give the bag a little more structure and to make it easier to find things. And because things do tend to just fall all over the place in this bag and get lost, and because the thing I need to access the most is my debit card, what I'll often do is take one of these key pouches, this is from Dress Up Your Purse, and I'll clip it to the outside of the bag, maybe not if I also have a charm there, but that keeps my ID, my cash, my debit card, whatever small things I need handy, and I know where they are. And I can have it on the outside of the bag, kind of like a bag charm. I could throw it over the inside. I could also attach it to the D-ring inside the bag, and that just makes it a bit easier to use the bag. A lot of Louis Vuitton bags are black holes. It's hard to find things. I guess it's true of any brand, not just Louis Vuitton. And if you need a little more space than this, Dress Up Your Purse also has these little envelope pouches. They hold all the same thing. Of course, I'll link them below if I haven't already said that. And the new model Neverfull comes with the pouch, as you probably know, but the old model doesn't. So I tend to use my pochette accessoire in there, but I also use these pouches, also from Dress Up Your Purse. The vachetta pouches match the Azure well, and they help keep me organized. And a lot of people complain about the Neverfull because it's everywhere. That's probably the biggest complaint. Personally, I just don't care. They're great bags. If you want one or if you have one, don't let anybody judge you about it. I carry mine, you should carry yours. Or get one if you want one. The third Louis Vuitton bag I purchased was another one that was a bit of a dream bag. Not the most practical bag for me because I tend to go for big bags. It's the Eva Clutch. Now this does also come with a crossbody strap. I just didn't pull it out. But it's very small in comparison to the other two bags I showed you and all the other bags I will show you. However, as I say every time I show this bag, it is much more spacious than it looks. It fits a lot more than you might think it would. And I probably have a what fits video on this somewhere, so if I can find that, I will link it for you below. This bag is fantastic because it's versatile. You have the chain and the gold plaque, which give it a little extra oomph, a little sparkle. You can carry it as a clutch. You can carry it with the chain, which you can hand hold or you can put over your shoulder. It's long enough to work either way. And then the crossbody strap gives it a more casual vibe. Not that this bag particularly needs any dressing up, but I do like to add a little tassel to it. This Ben tassel is from Dress Up Your Purse. I also like this gold tassel with it. And it does have a red interior. I have a little organizer in there. If I can remember where I got that, because it's been a long time, and if it's still available, I will link it for you below. I think it says, oh, it's Zumoni, so I think I will be able to link it. It seems like with a bag this small you wouldn't need an organizer, and you don't really, but it is still helpful to be able to put your card holder here and your phone here, and it does keep it a little more organized. It also takes up a bit of space. Anyway, I was pointing out that it has a red interior, so you could also add a little red tassel if you'd like to complement that. By the way, spoiler alert, my first 5 Louis Vuitton bags, I do have all of them still. I do still love them and I do still use them all. The only thing I kind of don't have is what I already told you, where I switched out the Trevi GM for the PM. But otherwise, these are all my original first 5 bags. And I do recommend absolutely any of them that I'm going to show you. The 4th Louis Vuitton bag I purchased, you guys I'm sure are very familiar with this one, is my vintage Noe GM. I love this bag. Unfortunately, you may have seen the video, it may be one of the videos that brought you to my channel in the first place. I did a stupid thing. I cleaned this bag with a magic eraser and I didn't condition it first, and I cracked the leather. And I cracked it in many more places than that. I've been thinking lately about replacing this, not necessarily getting rid of this one because I don't know who'd want to buy it in this condition anyway, and I do still love it like it is, but getting one that's in better condition because I love this bag so much and I'm afraid of the leather falling apart at some point. I did, for those of you not terribly familiar with this bag, I did add this drawstring slide. This particular one with the monogram canvas on it is no longer available from that seller, so I can't link it. I added these snap hooks to make it easier to take the strap on and off, and I have a new drawstring on it because I broke the original one. I think that Dress Up Your Purse sells new drawstrings. That's not where I got this one because I didn't know about them yet, but I'm pretty sure she does if you need one. And she also, all of her leathers and straps and things, like if you're getting a vintage bag, you can get it patinaed light, like brand new, or like a honey patina, or you can get a darker patina like this. That's one of the great things about her shop. If you're into vintage and pre-loved bags like I am, that is super helpful. Hey June 100% influenced me to buy this bag. She bought a vintage one years ago and I saw that video and I went out and bought one pretty quickly after that. It's a fabulous bag. It's classic. And if you don't know the history, one of the reasons I love it so much is the history. It was originally designed to hold 5 bottles of champagne. That was its intended purpose. This was a luggage piece for traveling with champagne, which is certainly luxurious, yes. So you'd have 4 bottles and then one upside down in the middle. And for that reason, this is very often the bag that I take when I go to wineries, and I highly recommend it. The 5th Louis Vuitton bag I purchased, and you may notice that there's another one right over here next to me that I haven't talked about yet, so yes, there will be a bonus 6th bag. I know you were hoping for one. But the 5th bag I purchased is not a bag I had ever intended to purchase because I never liked them, but I'll tell you why I got it. It's the Speedy, the most classic Louis Vuitton bag. Of course, it's in Noe GM, which is my favorite Louis Vuitton print and the original Louis Vuitton print. I have a video all about the history of a Ben. I'll link below if you're interested. It's pretty interesting. I learned a lot doing the research on that. Anyway, I never wanted this bag. The only reason I purchased it is because I was looking for a bag that would hold my planners, specifically my Louis Vuitton GM planner. And I read online that this one would hold it, and it does. So I bought it and fell in love with the Speedy after that, and I have a couple others now. And I want more. Again, the chain is not original. That's from Dress Up Your Purse. It has gold and gunmetal links. It's quite lovely. And mine is the classic Speedy. I prefer the classic Speedy to the bandolier. I do prefer to have a shoulder strap on my bags, but I just don't like the strip of leather over here. It looks too much like a keep-all to me, a duffel bag. And I know this is like the tiny handbag version of the keep-all, but I still prefer the handbag look over the luggage look. Makes sense? But I added this strap that I just attached to the edges, and I do keep an eye on that because it's not designed to be carried that way. I've never had trouble with it. This strap is from a Trevi bag. It's actually from Yota Styles Trevi bag that she sold, and she gave me the strap. The Speedy is a fantastic bag. It's another one that if you see Louis Vuitton where you live, this is one of the bags you see most often. I don't care. You see it often for a reason, just like with the Neverfull. They're fantastic bags. It's also a black hole, so I do tend to use an organizer with it, but I don't know. I can't say enough about this. I really love it. And between the Speedy and the Neverfull, personally, my choice would be the Speedy. If you're starting out and thinking about those, I mean, your choice might be different, but I don't know. I find the Speedy more versatile. I think a tote only has so many looks. It looks like a tote, right? This has it almost has the capacity of the Neverfull. It's a big bag. This is the 30 centimeter size, by the way. I think it can do more work for you. It can be more versatile. It can work with more outfits, more situations than a tote could. So if you're deciding between the two, this gets my vote. Also, thinking about new versus pre-loved, I recommend buying the Neverfull new, but the Speedy pre-loved. And that has to do with new versus pre-loved price points, especially when you consider with the Neverfull that people usually separate the pouch and sell those separately, and that tends to raise the price above retail. So that's another tip for you. Bag number 6, my bonus bag. You can see it here. And those of you who are familiar with my channel know that this is one of my favorite bags in my collection, certainly my favorite Louis Vuitton bag. I have several videos on this bag I will link below. I think of this bag as the grown-up, more sophisticated big sister of the Speedy. It's as functional and versatile as the Speedy, but it has a little more flair. I have Louis Vuitton Florida monogram bag charm on it. I also have this Louis Vuitton luggage tag with the Firenze stamp. It's Florence, Italy. And this bag, I got this bag brand new in New York City. Fantastic, little dream come true there. And it's just a spectacular bag, and I didn't want to do a video without it. Well, I hope that I was able to give you some helpful tips while I was showing you my first 5 Louis Vuitton bags, especially if you're someone who's just starting out, and especially if you're someone who, like me, like most people, has to really save up for these bags. There's a lot to think about, a lot to consider, and I just hope this helped. Please remember to go over to Winnie LV and Yota Styles channels and check out their videos on their first 5 Louis Vuitton bags. Those videos will be linked below. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well. I hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.